The oldest inmate on the Texas death row, who was convicted more than 30 years ago of shooting 4 men in an airplane hangar, was executed by lethal injection on Thursday night. The guy's name is Lester Bauer. He was 67 years old. And I want to read you his last words and then give you a twist in the story here, a really interesting twist. So here's what he said, quote, "Much has been written about this case, not all of it the truth, but the time is over and now it is time to move on. I want to thank my attorneys for all that they have done. They have afforded me the last quarter of a century. I would like to thank my wife, daughters, family, and friends for unwavering support and all the letters and well wishes over the years. Now it is time to pass on. I have fought the good fight. I held the faith. I am not going to say goodbye. I will simply say until we meet again. I love you very, very much. Thank you, Warden." Okay, so that's really interesting. I don't know what the last thing about the warden is there. I guess he had a good relationship with the warden, so he actually said thank you to the warden. Now, Bauer was denied an appeal, even though 3 Supreme Court justices said that they would have tossed out his death sentence. Now, if you ask me, I think that's reason enough to grant an appeal. If you have 3 Supreme Court justices that are like, I wouldn't give him the death penalty, I couldn't, given the facts of the case. Really? 3 Supreme... That's not enough to say, okay, let's do another appeal here and see what's going on. But the story gets much worse. He didn't have a criminal record, okay? Now, you might say that's irrelevant because he could have just done this one crime. Absolutely. In fact, I agree with you on that. But they say, he was convicted on circumstantial evidence only, and since he was found guilty, after that, witnesses have come forward to say he didn't do it. All right, now, understand something, man. Am I saying he's innocent? Am I saying he didn't do it? No. I don't know. How the fuck could I know? When you read all the facts, you know what you walk away thinking? I have no idea. Any reasonable person with a clear head would read the facts of this case and walk away going, I just don't know. I just don't know. I have no clue. But see, if you're in that area, if you're in the I don't know space, that's enough to say, just don't kill him to be safe. Even if you do life in prison, even if you do life in prison without the possibility of parole, and you do it at the most hardline, badass prison that there is in the United States of America, highest security level, whatever, wouldn't that be a better idea? No, see, this is the thing, man, and this is why I'm against the death penalty. It's not like I'm against the death penalty when I look at a guy like Anders Breivik slaughtering children, and I go, we should let him eat good food and watch TV the rest of his life. We should be kind people and be bigger than him. No, fuck that. I don't like that guy any more than you do. James Holmes, fuck that guy. The Boston Bomber guy can suck a dick. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to argue on behalf of those people. Fuck them. That's what I say. But the thing is, sometimes we don't know if we're killing the right people. And sometimes we don't kill the right people. There was a study recently, 4% of the time, the wrong people are on death row. 4%? 4 out of every 100 people on death row are innocent. What are we doing here? We've just all casually and nonchalantly accepted a system where we murder people 4% of the time with our money, our tax dollars. You do understand the paradox of the death penalty, right? So understand this. If you and I are paying 4% of the time to murder a civilian, somebody who didn't do anything, well then, aren't we also guilty of murder? Or at least manslaughter, right? But if we're guilty of murder, if we just killed an innocent person, and we know 4 out of 100 times we are, well then, by our same logic, then shouldn't we get the death penalty? It's the paradox of the death penalty, and you can't escape that paradox. Like I said, philosophically, I'm fine with the death penalty. And that, by the way, makes me more moderate or more conservative than a lot of liberals and a lot of progressives out there. A lot of people reach out to me all the time and say, no, even if they're guilty, I still wouldn't do it because reasons X, Y, and Z. I'm not convinced by those arguments. I'm not. I don't have any sympathy for people who are so fucked up that they do the worst crimes imaginable. But it's not about them. That's the point.